budget to you?
Like, okay, let's say if you need something, like you need a bill paid, something like that. I got you.
The mortgage?
Yeah, I cover that.
Okay.
Say car note.
How much
cover
is
that. I
$10,000?
cover things sort of build, like I would be there. You know what I'm saying?
Does she have to ask you?
But then is you gotta pick a side. Because you're not gonna be getting bills paid.
And
then thinking we going to Shanae.
Oh my goodness, have you heard about the absolute bombshell that just dropped on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? I'm still shaking from what went down, and trust me, this isn't just your regular reality TV drama. We're talking about a scandal that has completely rocked the entire hip hop community to its core, and it involves none other than Khaotic. Now, for those who've been following the show, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Khaotic has always been that unpredictable force that keeps everyone on their toes, but what just unfolded in season 12 is beyond anything we could have imagined. This isn't just about his typical dramatic antics. This incident has literally changed the course of his life and devastated his relationship with Ereica Banks in ways nobody saw coming. Let me break down exactly what happened because the details are absolutely shocking. Picture this. We've got Khaotic and Ereica Banks, both making serious waves in Atlanta's hip-hop scene, trying to navigate what has always been this incredibly intense relationship. Their chemistry, it's always been explosive, the kind that makes for amazing television, but also the kind that can turn dangerous in a heartbeat. You see, these two have always had this complex dynamic. On one side, you've got Khaotic with his infamous temper and impulsive nature. The man literally can't help but act first and think later. Then there's Ereica, serving that strong, no-nonsense attitude that we've all come to love her for. When they're good, they're incredible together, but when things go south, baby, it's like watching a Category 5 hurricane make landfall. Everyone thought they were finally getting their act together, you know? There were moments when it seemed like they were actually building something real, something that could last. But underneath all that surface-level progress, there were cracks forming. Deep, dangerous cracks that nobody wanted to acknowledge. The episode started innocently enough, but let me tell you how quickly things spiraled out of control. What began as just another one of their heated discussions, and Lord knows they've had plenty, suddenly took this horrifying turn that nobody was prepared for. Khaotic's temper, which has always been like a ticking time bomb, finally exploded in the worst possible way. Here's where things get really intense. Picture this scene. Ereica's trying her best to defuse the situation, using every trick in the book to calm Khaotic down, but it's like throwing water on a grease fire. It only made things worse. The tension in the room was so thick you could cut it with a knife, and before anyone could even process what was happening, words turned into actions in the most horrifying way possible. In a moment that will forever be etched in love and hip-hop history, Khaotic completely lost control. The cameras captured every excruciating second as he physically assaulted Ereica, slapping her across the face with such force that the sound seemed to echo through the studio. You could see the raw fury in his eyes, his body tense with uncontrolled anger, while Ereica's face contorted in shock and pain. The aftermath was immediate and devastating. Ereica stumbled backward, her hand clutching her cheek, her eyes wide with disbelief as she tried to process what had just happened. The room fell into this eerie silence, like everyone was holding their breath, trying to comprehend how things had escalated to this point. But let me tell you something about Ereica Banks. She's not the type to let anyone get away with disrespecting her like that. Despite the humiliation of having this deeply personal moment captured on camera, she did what needed to be done. With trembling hands but unwavering resolve, she pulled out her phone and called the police. You could hear the emotion in her voice as she reported the incident, each word heavy with the weight of betrayal and hurt. The news of Khaotic's arrest spread through social media like wildfire. Within minutes, it seemed like everyone in the industry was talking about it. This was a man who had built his reputation on being controversial and unpredictable, but this crossed a line that even his most devoted fans couldn't defend. The fallout within the hip-hop community was immediate and intense. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions, and everyone seemed to have an opinion. Some of Khaotic's longtime supporters were desperately trying to defend him, bringing up his past struggles and emotional issues as if they could somehow justify what happened. But the majority of people weren't having any of it. They were calling for serious consequences, demanding that he be held accountable for his actions. For Khaotic, it was like watching his entire world collapse in slow motion. The reality of his situation started sinking in as he sat in custody. His career, which he'd worked so hard to build, was suddenly hanging by a thread. All those fans who used to hang on his every word, many of them were now turning their backs on him, and rightfully so. The support system he'd always counted on began crumbling faster than he could process.
Stop! Yo! Khaotic, what the f*** is happening? What the f*** is happening?
Hey, come on, Spice, get off the stage.
No,
budget to you?
Like, okay, let's say if you need something, like you need a bill paid, something like that. I got you.
The mortgage?
Yeah, I cover that.
Okay.
Say car note.
How
I
much
cover
is
that. I
$10,000?
cover things sort of bills, like I would be there. You know what I'm saying?
Does she have to ask?
But then is you gotta pick a side. Because you're not gonna be getting bills paid.
And
then thinking we going to Shanae.
Now let's talk about what Ereica went through in the aftermath of this horrific incident. Here's a woman who had invested her heart, her trust, and her future in someone she loved, only to have it shattered in the most violent way possible. The physical pain from the assault was just the beginning. It's the emotional trauma that cut the deepest. As a public figure, Ereica had to deal with this devastating personal crisis while the entire world watched and commented. Every move she made, every word she spoke was scrutinized and analyzed. But instead of shrinking away from the spotlight, Ereica chose to use her platform to speak out against domestic violence. In what became one of the most powerful moments of the season, Ereica addressed her followers directly. "No one deserves to be treated like that," she declared, her voice carrying strength even through obvious pain. The impact of her words resonated throughout the industry, inspiring others to share their own stories and stand up against abuse. The response to Ereica's bravery was overwhelming. Her social media was flooded with messages of support, with fans and fellow artists alike rallying behind her. She became more than just a victim. She transformed into a symbol of strength and resilience for others facing similar situations. Meanwhile, the Love and Hip Hop cast was left to grapple with their own reactions to the situation. The dynamics within the group shifted dramatically as people were forced to choose sides. Some cast members immediately stepped up to support Ereica, offering both public and private support. Others found themselves caught in an uncomfortable position, struggling to reconcile the Khaotic they thought they knew with the man who committed this violent act. The legal proceedings against Khaotic moved forward swiftly. The assault charges weren't something that could be swept under the rug or handled quietly behind the scenes. This was serious, with potential consequences that could include jail time. As he sat in his cell, Khaotic was forced to confront the gravity of his actions. Reports from those close to him suggested that he was experiencing deep remorse, finally understanding the magnitude of what he'd done. But for Ereica and many others, any expressions of regret came too late. The damage was done, and no amount of apologies could easily erase the trauma of that moment. The ripple effects of this incident extended far beyond just Khaotic and Ereica. It sparked important conversations within the hip-hop community about accountability, respect, and the treatment of women in the industry. Production crews had to reevaluate their safety protocols, and other reality shows began examining how they handle potentially volatile situations. As the episode drew to a close, viewers were left with more questions than answers. The uncertainty hanging over Khaotic's future in the industry was palpable. Would any record label or production company be willing to work with him after this? Could his career survive such a serious scandal? And what about Ereica? How would this traumatic experience affect her ability to trust and form relationships in the future? The impact of this incident continued to reverberate through their lives and the entire love and hip-hop community. For Khaotic, the path to redemption, if one exists, would be long and challenging. He would need to demonstrate genuine change and accountability, not just remorse for getting caught. Ereica, meanwhile, faced her own journey of healing and recovery. The support she received was overwhelming, but the road ahead would be difficult. She would need to rebuild not just her sense of security, but also her ability to trust others. For the Love and Hip Hop franchise, this incident served as a sobering reminder of the fine line between entertainment and exploitation. The raw, unscripted nature of reality TV can capture authentic moments of human drama, but when those moments turn violent, the consequences are very real and far-reaching. As news of this incident continues to spread, industry insiders are speculating about the long-term implications for both Khaotic and Ereica's careers. While Khaotic's future seems uncertain at best, many predict that Ereica's courage in speaking out could lead to new opportunities and platforms for her voice to be heard. The episode ended, leaving viewers with a profound sense of unease. The glitzy world of reality TV had collided with the harsh reality of domestic violence, leaving no one unscathed. For Khaotic and Ereica, their story will forever be marked by this moment of violence and its aftermath, a stark reminder that some choices can't be undone and some damage can't be easily repaired. This incident will likely be remembered as one of the most shocking moments in love and hip-hop history, not just for its dramatic impact, but for the important conversations it sparked about about accountability, abuse, and the responsibility of both individuals and the entertainment industry as a whole. The show may continue, but for everyone involved, nothing will ever be quite the same again.